Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, continuing with the Monster Menu on a nice Sunday. It's hot out, and we're on entry number 3, the Allip. And the Allip is created essentially because someone was driven mad and committed suicide, and they want revenge. So their thing is they're a madness monster with wisdom drain and stuff. And I actually had read part of that entry when I was reading the Acari, which was a mistake. The Acari bird we just made. So we're going to make sure we include that in this part. So the Allip is a medium-sized creature, I believe. Size. I do not see a size entry. But I'm assuming if it's the spirit of a human, it's medium-sized. So let's get started on that. So it's more of a wispy ghost type creature. So my thought is let's get a pen. We could ruin a miniature and make this. We can get a hero click or just about anything else and make this. Or we can just make something ourselves. So I think I want to make something ourselves. Because it says it's vaguely human shaped, right? So if it's vaguely human shaped, I think that the goal is to make it not quite human shaped. So what I'm going to do is this is a mistake. I'm going to try to, this is really big for a size medium base. Let's shrink it up some. And we can just do it as we go. So, I think what we're going for here is some kind of ghostly rags, some kind of form. Oh, I didn't even cut this top part out here. Wow, we didn't cut through there at all. Poorly done, Chris. Poorly done. All right. We're going to try to steal some of that. And this doesn't have to be perfect. And as I say all the time, perfection is not a prerequisite of a good craft. Sometimes the wonky things that we don't like about something we've done end up being the little charming effect that makes it look good or sells it better. So as a madness of a vaguely man-shaped madness kind of monster here, a ghost or whatever, a spirit, we're going to assume that this thing is evil. I didn't read the whole entry. Throw my garbage away. Okay, so we got a jaggy shape there that we can start to build with, and we got a base to kind of put it on. Seems a little tall, so what I think I'd like to do, just cut out some of that and bring that down a little bit. Something like that. Let's get a regular mini. Where's the mini I always have down here? I lost it. And this is why you can't have nice things. So there's a regular mini, and that's about how tall it's on the base. So maybe we can even shrink that down a little bit more. And I think the answer to that would be just to nip this a little bit off the bottom. There you go, something like that. All right, so let's start with our Allip. What I think I'm going to do, let me get a piece of tinfoil. When we get our Allip, we're going to kind of make a rough outline of him with the super glue. On one side. We're just going to fill in this inner spot a little bit, but not perfectly. And we're going to run some crazy lines through it to give it kind of a weird fabric-y effect. Something like that. And we're going to let it cool off. Okay. I'm just going to pop that off there. As is. Stick to our fingers a little bit, obviously, of course, because you know how my fingers just love glue. I'm going to flip this over and kind of do the other side similar. Getting a little bit of glue and dragging it to get to the outlines. And only squeezing out a little bit here and there as I need it. Alright, we'll let that cool off. Let me turn that fan up, it's hot in here. I'm spitting. I'm spitting badly. Alright, let's see if we can pick it up and get a look at it. Okay. Let's flip that back over. Let's come back on this side and just drag our glue around on the shape again and give it a little more girth. Now we've completely lost, because of how hot my glue gun is, we lost every little bit of detail we had on that side, and that's okay. It's not going to ruin it. We'll come back later and we'll pro it up some. So we're letting that cool. I need like a +2 cold air gun. While we're letting that cool, let's work on our base. So what I have here, it's just one of my little clear Dungeon Swag bases. You can use any base you want. Let's get a little bit of super glue. And a toothpick piece. And drag super glue all around it in a circle, but not all the way to the edges. Let's get some baking soda. Let's just dip that in there. Like this. Boop. And you want to get a toothbrush. An old one. And just brush off any loose stuff. Then we're going to get a couple pebbles. Put on the base here. And I think it would be alright if we put a tombstone on here too, honestly. So we're just going to get a little dab of glue. That's way more than I wanted. And we're just going to break that surface tension and drag that down on so it sticks. Alright, so let's see what we can do to make a little tombstone. We can get a piece of foam. So this is just a little cut-off piece of foam. Whenever I have little cut-offs, I just throw them in a bin and try to use those before I tear into like any big pieces of good stuff. Whoops. So we want to get our tombstone kind of, we want to sit back a little bit at an angle like it's one people don't really visit. I'm just going to get a dab of glue. I'm going to shove that down onto the base. We're just going to shove our fingers in there in some spots. Create a little bit of texture. Alright. Let's come back and check on our Allip. Alright, that side's pretty dry. Let's get another layer on this side. That glue's really hot, so let's tap that down. And then I think what we can do is we can actually add some fabric on here to give this a little bit more, form and shape. So I just have an old kid's t-shirt here that my sons grew out of. An old WVU t-shirt. Oh, you can't see it. I'm going to grab some scissors. I'm just going to cut some of this cloth off. So if we want to sell our Allip, I think the secret is going to be to just get some really thin strips of cloth and do some layer work. So my plan is to fold it in half and cut off some thin pieces of different lengths and sizes. Alright, so I'm going to get a toothpick that still has some point on it. Double check that, that's still pretty hot. Okay, let's get some of this cloth, push it down, and twist it out on that form. Sorry, it stuck to my hand. Alright, so just getting these little pieces of cloth and affixing them on here. We'll add some form in theory. Okay. Got a lot of spider webs and I'm stuck to everything here. I have deep, like, I play guitar and stuff too, and I work, and I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. So I have a lot of calluses, and the cracks in my fingers are deep, and when stuff sticks to me, it seems to be like such a dang problem. Okay, so we got a kind of a shape started here that we can work with. Our Allip is starting to look a little Allip-y. Let's flip them over. And let's try to achieve something similar on this side. Okay, we're getting there. It's filling out nicely. And those spider webs aren't killing us on this right now. Okay. Now it's vaguely human shaped, and it looks like it's made out of some definite parts of madness. Let's come over here and smooth down any weird glue spots you got. I had several where my fingers got stuck and stuff. And if you had any spots where the fabric didn't stick well, or maybe you made a mistake or whatever. And I'm not really using too much glue right here. I'm just kind of moving stuff around. And then I just want this piece to kind of fold over the back. Okay. Something like this. Okay. So let's move that over and let's grab our base and see what we can do to really capture this. So, stuck to my hand, of course. I'm just going to put a little glue here. I'm going to get him down on the base. I'm going to adjust that and get him stuck good. And let that cool in place and solidify. Alright. So I think the answer to making him sturdy at this point is going to be a little glue. You especially want to catch any of those little like outlying strings and stuff, so they get hard. I think we could probably get another little piece on the back here. Oh, come on, you bastard. There we go. Let's get one more of these weird little sticky-outy ones. I think we can do a little bit on the front here too, maybe just couple little thin pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to cut out something small just to kind of dangle off the front. Alright, so you have a little bit of time here to kind of push this stuff down and get it how you want it. And maybe pull some of this stuff out a little bit, like twist it up. But you don't have an enormous amount of time to do that, okay? As it gets hard, it becomes less and less manageable. So I think that's a pretty good shape for our Allip. Before I spray paint this guy, we are going to get a little bit of Mod Podge and paint that tombstone up so that it doesn't get melted by the spray paint. So I'm just going to grab a tiny crappy brush and I'm going to get some of this Mod Podge and glue and paint mixture and put a coating on here. I might hit some of these spots too, I think, just to kind of make sure that, even though that super glue should make that pretty hard, I want to make sure that we got it good. Especially on the parts that hover outward and like hang out like they're being blown around. We want those to be sturdy. So I'm just going to hit those real quick with some of this. Okay. Alright. So there's part one of the Allip. And when we come back, we're going to do part two and we're going to paint it up. While we're gone, I'm going to spray paint it with black primer from a rattle can. And then I'll probably just do that. So anyways, if you like what you're seeing here, feel free to like and subscribe. There is some kind of notifications button. It's a little bell. I have not used it. I'm just learning about it within the past few days. And I've been using YouTube for years. I just didn't care. And I don't watch a lot of videos that are like boring. So, yeah. Check out the website. Links in the description. And have a great day.